this stuff, it really helped me. I looked at his account and I said, hey, here's all the stuff that he had, right? And I wasn't trying to copy everything he had because he built it over a long time. I'm not trying to do that. But what he said that really struck me and that overlaid with what you said was identify pairs that you can date and stick with them, learn their history, get to know them intimately. And he probably did this over a long period of time. So I didn't want to mash that. But what I did want to do is say, well, if we've got this new system out, where was the overlap between what I could see clearly and simply and what he said, which was really powerful, was identify pairs that have a simple pattern.
Yes.
Identify pairs that have a smooth pattern,
Mm-hmm.
that aren't crazy and volatile like crazy. And so I took that to heart. I revamped everything. I went through and I highlighted and said, these are really tight ones that I think I can work with because this is the way that I like to trade. And I think the way that he built the triple arrow system now is a lot like the way he likes to trade, which is a lot like the way we like to trade, which is simple and
Right.
straightforward and easy and not stressful. This whole scalping thing, not interested in it, especially not now. I'm not, just personally, I'm not interested in it. So I started locking down and saying, all right, my schedule looks like this. Early mornings are a possibility some mornings, because depending on what I'm doing, I might be up between 4 and 6 because I got to knock some things out before the kids get up. So sometimes that happens. So these are the ones I would probably tap into if the morning opens up. And I know it looks crazy, and I'm listening to what you said, but I pick a couple. What I'm saying is here are some options that I'm trying to whittle down and try to like identify my core ones. So I have to kind of go through this process of just whittling down these. And yet they overlap. A lot of them overlap because the early morning session, if we get in 2 hours after London, I pay close attention to that, would be Euro AUD, Euro NZD, Euro USD, GBP, and then I can start getting into some of the metals. Like I might not go crazy in the metals, but I like them. I like Bitcoin. That's my jam. And then the morning, that's early morning, so that's like 4 to 6. Morning is 8 to 11:30. I would trade. I can only do that in the summer, but nonetheless, it's something that I can look into. And these are the ones that would A, match the new system really well, B, match me very well at this moment in time, and have a lot of overlap and potential. So I like that. Then the evening is where I mostly will be trading. This is where I was like, all right, these are the ones that are kind of, I'm going to be spending a lot of time with. JPY, which wasn't on his list, but I like it. It feels pretty natural to me. AUD USD was on the list. This one was on the list. I think Euro AUD was on the list. These have been pretty nice to me so far. GBP was on the list, NZD, JPY, and a lot of these again overlap. So I'm going to start whittling these down, after I start doing my trading plan. So I started to do that. And then I know what I need to do, what I haven't been doing, but I will, is after I started whipping all these things up, is I need to start journaling. I'm going to start journaling.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm moving into this here so I can track everything that I've been doing, reasons why I entered.
Now, if you don't mind, could you go
Yeah,
back to the previous tab?
this
Um,
guy.
no, the one after that, the one
Oh,
that has the it looks
this,
like a calendar.
this guy.
No, I'm sorry. I'm sorry. No,
Oh,
not that one. The one that had the pips on it, number of pips.
this one.
Mm-mm.
There's a trade log.
Maybe it was the other
Uh,
one that you just had. Maybe.
maybe.
Yeah.
It wasn't the Word document.
No, it wasn't that one. It was an Excel.
Okay. So this is peer research. Oh, history. This one, history.
Well, that's that one. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah.
So, okay. So for these pairs, like this RJPY, did you, as far as the pips that I see, how did you come about those pips?
Great question. This is based on the trading plan. If I would have taken the trade based on our trading plan, this is how it would have, its maximum.
Played out.
It would have played out. Yeah. Based on that. The
Because so
trade plan.
based on that, then what I see, based on what you have here, you would have definitely been able to get 20 pips then, because
Oh,
nothing
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, 20 is a nice number. 20 is a real safe number. I mean, mathematically, it is.
Yeah.
Based on the trading plan,
Yeah.
it is a winner. The lowest one I think was 24, and then there's a 0 pip because it lost.
Right. Right.
But it's 20 is nice. You can live
Yeah.
on 20.
I like that.
Yeah, it is a really sound piece. I think that so you'll see how I augmented the trading plan, but one of the last things is riding. I call it riding the pip train. So it's after 20. Like, what do you do after 20? If you get the
Really.
first 20,
Yeah.
like, how do you ride it? How do you trail it? Like, what does that look like? I don't know what that is yet. I don't think I'm ready for that yet.
Yeah.
But I know that that's this. Once you get up here, like when it starts to, I don't even know how to read that yet.
Yeah.
But,
Trailing it is definitely the way to go. After
Mhm.
your 20, about 15 pips after the 20, then you move, you put your stop loss in where you entry, and I'll show you that. But you definitely want to trail it. That way you can capitalize on the additional pips without losing the 20 that you already gained.
I like the sound of that. That's cool. That's cool. Yeah, so that's riding it. That's after the 20.
That's like a pit master. That's like we just taking prisoners up in
Yes, that'll be fun to get to that, when I'm ready. So this is the history. This is the back testing stuff, and I had identified the core. I had identified some core ones that I had identified earlier, like these kind of the core ones. It was like 4 or 5, and I was in the process of just like digging in. Then a new system came out, and it was like, oh well, I also need to think about this other thing, because when you're looking at the M's and the W's, that could mean that it's real choppy. And I didn't have the lens yet. I didn't have the lens until he said, he said the NAS 100. He's like, I like the NAS 100. It's just smooth like butter. I was like, that's what I should probably be looking for too, because I prefer to trade that way. Even if I can see the M's or not the M's, I want to see that thing go from top to bottom. That's what I want. That's what I want.
Right.
I want that. I want those slants. Give me a slant. I want that.
Now keep in mind too, if you're going to focus on M's and W's, we only take the second leg of that pattern, because that's your momentum leg. So it could be actually choppy and things, but once that second leg is identified, it's going. Going.
It's matching up. So this is what I've been spending my time doing, kind of the prep work, the groundwork, because I like to do the hard work first, and then everything else becomes a little bit easier. Otherwise, I have to go back and forth, and I don't like that. I like a strong foundation. Like, what times am I trading? If I'm trading at those times, can I dedicate myself to those times? And what am I looking for? So then translate to let's translate to this real quick. I'll show you the latest iteration. I started going through iterations of the trading plan and adapting and amending it. And then this is kind of the final one that I came up with that I can now start to execute. And the first part is the conditions. What session am I in? Is there news that could just tear this whole thing apart? Then I go in and say, well, where's price? Right? Where is it? And it seems like the 1 hour is great for our trading plan. For the new system, it looks like the 30 is like in the middle. So it's like 31 hour, 31 hour. I'm not sure which yet. So I don't know. Is it bearish or bullish? Like market, I like the market first with the vertical line. Then how did price get there? Historical analysis. We start marking that bad boy up. Are there M's and W's that I can see easily? Is there a head and shoulder pattern that I can see easily? I haven't really gotten really deep into candlesticks yet, but that'll be the next layer. But if I can see it right away, like the engulfing candle, I can be like, all right, good. I'm good. Where do I go from here? Place price above the MACD. And then there are arrows here in surface. Now this part is outside of the current trading plan because it came after. But this is kind of what this is when I would look at the arrows, I think, either way, because I need to figure out what the heck's going on with the thing first and then get into the newer system. So this is like the newer system stuff.
Mm-hmm.
And then enter the trade at the M15 or the M30, the lower time frame. So I get in a little bit early, place the stop loss above or below the hot zone. I know it doesn't have the alert in here. The alert is in here though. It's probably in here somewhere. Like,
Mm-hmm.
probably put the alert there. And then this is the next level. So I have star, double star. I'm not ready for that yet, but I was thinking about it and I said, this is something eventually that I'll get to. So basically the trading plan goes like this. And I've just evolved it to this point like a couple days ago.
Mm-hmm.
But
Right.
this is kind of where I am now.
Okay. That looks good. You
Yeah.
definitely have the three main questions that will always lead you in the right direction. And now what I don't see is, and maybe you're still working on it, is the execution. Let's see, where do I look? Yeah. Like, when you actually execute the trade.
Oh, here, into the trade. Is this
Oh,
execution?
I'm sorry, I missed it. Okay.
That's okay. Number 5, is this what you mean?
Yep. I sure missed that one.
Okay. And then this here, this is the, make sure that it's got 20 pips.
Yeah.
12 pips. If not, 2 stack 2 to a 10. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So
Yep.
this is
Yeah,
swing low, swing high, hot zone. And in here also is, consolidation to consolidation. So these are the bullet points. Like these are the notes. These are more of the note stuff. But I just consolidated it and so that you can go deeper into these. But I just wanted to get the high level check.
Gotcha.
Checkpoints. All right, so that's that piece. And then well, let's look at a couple of these. What I did was, and we'll go back to this. We'll come back to this. I started to set up my my profiles. So if it's early morning, I get a profile, allows me to see the main ones that I'm looking into. Whenever they decide to come up, that'd be great. All right. So, I mean, one at a time, which is fine. And what you see is the newest one, because that was the last one I was on. But I also set these up so they're clean. So I got the triple arrows here. And this is just looking at the patterns, just straight up looking at the pattern. And then I've got the next one at the fib retracement, just in case I'm thinking, this looks like I missed it. I can't get in, or I shouldn't get in because it's 2 levels removed. I can't get in then. Then I got the parse here, and it just helps with momentum in an alligator. Now, I don't really use those that much because I'm trying to focus on our trading plan, but at least it's available to me if I need some other type of analysis. Really what I use is this guy here. We'll run through one of those, how I kind of marked it out and architect that out. And that's really all I need, and then the other one. So I just did those a couple days ago. Again, so evolved into that. Metals, London morning, so evening. And we're out of session now because it's Friday. But nonetheless, if I could be trading something, that would be those metals. Great, but I'm not really comfortable with those yet. Come on now, what are you doing now? Oh, come on now. Oh man. All right, so there's GPP. Like, so if this was Thursday, for example, let me run through a couple of scenarios of how I would approach these. Would that be helpful for us? I think so. It would be helpful for me to make sure that I am on the right track. So here we go. All right. So as I see this currently, I'd come to make sure that I am in my right session, which is 8 to 11:30. I'm ready to go. And the very first thing that I would do is make sure that I'm on the 1 hour and 30. And then I'd start immediately marking this thing up if it hasn't been marked up already. I would probably start here because this has got a big, juicy run on it. So I'm thinking that could be our impulse. And what I'm seeing then is the next one is our pullback, or we call it a correction. And then we got some consolidation action happening right here. And that would look like this right there. Booyah. A little bit over. Get that up. Actually, that's actually pretty good right there. So now, if I've got an impulse, I've got a correction, I'm expecting this to pop to the upside. The problem with that is it's sitting in seller's territory, and our MACD is saying this is coming down. So we've also got this pull down here. So it's possible that this could break out to the downside. And that's what it's looking like right now. One of the things I also should be doing is getting my price.
Yeah, now before you change that screen, don't change it yet. I want to point something out.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Oh,
good. Into. Yeah. No. It's a mid thought. Oh no. So yeah. So I'm thinking. So my immediate reaction in reading this, as I just ran it through 1, 2, 3, this thing could be going down. The next thing I would do, I would also look to the left to see if it's going down, where would be the next consolidation point that it possibly would go down to, and that would be around here. Boom, right there. So if this does break down to the downside, what I'm expecting is something to the effect of a 42, 46 pip drop possibly, or more if it breaks out even further. That's 66 pips in this direction. But I'm not sure. I'm not sure if that's going to break out of that consolidation zone yet.
Mm-hmm. Okay, so now how does because you have the triples on here, so how does your big arrow, because it don't seem as though you're using the big arrow as your guide as to the trend.
Good point. Yeah, so the triple arrows 1, 2, 3 say this thing's coming down.
Right,
1, 2, 3.
And that would actually, that would actually be your impulse actually.
Okay,
and
so
the up move,
okay,
the uptrend. Once you get your big arrow, that's the new impulse.
Yes. Okay. Okay, that's the new impulse. All right.
And then the rest of your analysis is great as long as you begin with the trend direction of the trend. That way you won't, because otherwise you're going to be always on the opposite side of it based on your analysis. So that pivot point at the bottom there where you say where price is likely to go, the red line, the red horizontal. Yeah, that's where price is going to go for sure. We just don't know when, but we know it's going to hit that. And it's in alignment with what the triples is telling us as far as the trend goes. So with that being an impulse, the bearish impulse, and then from that first bearish move down, it consolidated. But we're still under the 50. So we're now in seller's territory, which, and that lines up with your MACD, and it also lines up with the overall direction that price is actually going to go in. Now, that doesn't mean that you're not going to have a pullback or anything like that, but just stay on the right side of the trend, and you'll always be able to figure out where you are in the market.
Okay. Right. Yeah, that looks really good. And how would we know if that's good or not? We need to check 2 time frames up, and we're coming down here. Looks like we're coming down here. We don't have the arrows, but it does look like we have that momentum coming down here. And the MACD also tells us that bad boy is coming down. And then we got one more. And once it pops up eventually. Oh, we are. Oh, wow. That's the one out. And then the day one. Okay, there we go. And here's the other one, which we're still in seller's territory. However, we do have an opposite trend developing around.
Right, but here's the thing, that's the daily, right?
The daily.
Right, so we have an opposite big arrow, but what is that most recent candle? Is it bearish or bullish? And it looks like it's bearish. So that supports the overall trend that you're in on the hour. And it also supports what's happening on the 4-hour too. And like you said, it is in seller's territory. So yeah, everything lines up for a sale.
Nice. So coming back to the charts on a Monday night might be right.
Yeah.
It might be right.
Well, here's the thing, on that hour, on the hour chart,
right?
That's the hour, yeah. So on the hour, we're below the 50. We're in seller's territory, and now that's a bearish engulfing candle, which is another strong indication that price is going to move further down. So what I would be looking at not when the market open, I don't like trading on Sundays, but whenever you trade from where you are right now, you can be looking at that pivot point that you've identified as definitely in sight. That one that by the horizontal line.
This one.
Yeah, that's definitely in sight. It's going there. Like,
wow.
We just don't know when. I know I sound like, oh, that's
it's the weatherman. It's the weatherman.
Yeah, it is. We just don't know when. But everything is pointing in that direction. You might have a pullback, and more than likely it looks like it will pull back because you're sitting now. Price is currently sitting right at support when you look left. So it's right at support, a little congestion in that area as well. So I do expect for it to pull back up to the 50 line from what I'm looking at. Pull back up and then drop. Yeah, that would be my analysis.
Auto trend lines. The auto trend whites. And keep that on there. Well, it's blue, but that should be.
Yeah,
so we have further. Right. Yeah.
Okay, so right click again on clicking there. Yeah. And then we're going to go to parameters.
Right.
Okay, you got it. You got it.
Yeah, it should be white. This one's not white though. That's weird. The other one turned blue. Oh, it only went one at a time. That's weird.
Just put it on that trend line. But if you went to the actual, just the auto trend line itself, the system itself, you go there. Now,
it says white.
Okay, so go to inputs. Because there's a right there. That's where you need to change it.
Got it. And that should work great. So yeah. So this actually, this is really right on target to hit this line. I'm finding that middle trend line is really a strong indicator for where price bounces off of. It really bounces off of these lines and these lines and these lines and these lines. So that also helps there. So this is looking pretty good for Monday.
Yeah, it is. It is. I do it. Yep. I expect that to pull back and then drop. We're going to pull back and then drop.
I got to get stronger in my trend analysis then. Trend. Okay. So let's do another one. Let's take it to our Mac.
Yeah, I would be interested to see that that was GBP odd, right?
GBP odd, yep.
Could you show it on the new system?
Mm-hmm.
I want to see what that looks like in relation to arrows and such. Okay, so yeah, and yeah, so on your smaller time frame is a little bullish activity. If you look down at your trend surfer,
right,
the higher is definitely
it's coming in
bearish, but yeah, it's coming down, and we have the triples there. I love the system now. Listen, there should be no reason why nobody can catch pips. Like it just
This thing should be more than $149. I'm worried. Well, $149 is a nice price right now. That's crazy. I'm like, what?
And how about, I was just talking to a couple of folks, and I was like, you know what? It'd be a good idea to just buy
it now. Yep. Buy it now. That's what I plan on doing.
Because he alluded, it was a real slight illusion, if that's the word, but he alluded to the price going up.
Oh yeah, I'm looking at that price. I'm like, wait, that don't. I might as well go get two. Like I'm.
That's just his heart. He has a generous heart.
He does.
But yeah, this is the time to stock up on that. I sure am.
I think I might get a couple. I'm not gonna lie to you. I think I might get a couple. I have some questions. These are part of my questions I actually have down here.
Yeah.
Because $149 for this. This is bright as day. 4 steps. 1, 2, 3, 4. Like.
And we've configured, played around with some elements, like I said, of the triple with this to get an even tighter entry. And I'm telling you, it's like hundreds of pips on an hour time frame. It's amazing. It's amazing.
Wow.
So what we're gonna, like I said, I'm gonna still back test before I like put stuff out, but still back testing and like for your crypto account, multiple live accounts and a demo. I'm gonna do it on the demo. Yes.
Yeah, I have questions though, because I'm not sure. Well, we'll get to that, but I'm not sure because I also there's some technical glitches that I'm finding too. I'm like, do I get a new computer? Do I upgrade the Mac? Like there's gonna be an upgrade happening, and I told you, crypto's gonna take off.
Yeah, it is.
It is going to take off.
Yeah.
When? I don't know. Like the weatherman, I don't know.
Right.
But between next year and it has the whole year to take off. And 2 things can happen. The entire world's currency can drop out of the sky and everyone's like, oh my God, and just shift over to gold. It's a digital version of gold. So that's number 1. Number 2, after the halving event, which happened now, history repeats itself. Between this time and next year, I calculate, what's the total number? 500 days, something like that. I don't know what the number is. I got it all calculated out. It's going to seek a high again, which should happen somewhere at the end of next year. So that whole time, it's just up, and or incredible fluctuation. Which either way is great.
Where to take it, where to go.
Yes, it's great. So either way, one way or the other, it's gonna be. You talk about pip shopping.
Yeah, I'm just super excited.
Crypto's gonna change the wealth game.
Yeah. And of course, making the money, trading it, and then taking that and buy the hard asset. I think that it's important to have, the hard asset as well. It almost seems illegal, but
yeah, you know what? it used to be. It used to be, as Robert Kiyosaki would say, it used to be illegal.
Well, this is how the wealthy gets wealthy. This is how the unwealthy get wealthy.
Yes.
So yeah, I wanted to see just what that looked like in relation to the arrows, and I do see the triples on here. The sell me. I mean, this is a good move right there, waiting to happen.
Boom there.
Good move waiting to happen, right at that pivot point.
It's coming down. That's coming down. And what do we have? 4 hours next. It's already down, and it'll bounce back up. But I mean, that's the daily. So what I like to do too, I learned that little trick, that little Control Y trick. I like that because it allows me to see the days, what the days are doing.
Right.
So it's going up across a whole day. It's going down a whole day. We like that.
Oh yeah, because it reached a high. Here's the thing, and this is one of the trainings I'm gonna do. The first thing I noticed was the supply and demand zones. They call them hot spots, but that's red zone up here. It had to drop. It was in the zone. Listen, What happened?
You can see it. I think what's interesting, you've been in this for a while, so you understand the technicals. So this on top of the technicals that you have is just like,
Yeah,
it's
it's like,
Christmas.
you know what it's doing. It's in
Yeah.
a supply zone. It has to fall at that point. Same with the demand zone. It has to rise. And
Yeah.
I just love it.
Yeah. So I'm learning the patience. If you look at my my history, patience is the key.
It is.
And expanding, I think, the stop loss to be a bit larger. I know we're trying to go 1-to-1 and 20. I think 20 to 25 because I gotta get the spread. But
Yeah, you're gonna hit if you do 1-to-1 on a 20 pip goal, you're gonna get stopped out more.
yeah,
Yeah.
so that's what I've been experiencing. I think, which I'm cool with. I'm cool with because now I know. So
Right. And yeah, which is that's the best teacher actually, when you know for yourself. And why I'm comfortable with such a large risk to reward is because my reward potential outweighs the loss potential, based on the trading plan, of course, and the support and resistance, or the arrows where they populate, are identified areas where price did not break. And so the likelihood of it breaking is not as high as the likelihood of you hitting your profit first.
right.
Yeah,
That's a
that's
great
why I'm
point.
comfortable with the large,
Yeah.
risk to reward.
Yeah, and that's why he was saying, swing high, swing low,
Right.
above,
Ab-
above.
Above it,
Yeah.
because that's previously identified. It's
Mhm.
it's a hard area of resistance and
And
support.
then you just need to be patient.
Yeah, let it do. And then, like, even with the support area, I'm sorry, this red zone, the supply area, when it broke the zone, right, where it broke the zone, and you see where it says sell me. So it
Yeah.
broke the zone, then it retested the bottom of that zone and
Right.
dropped, and then your sell me.
Yeah,
It's classic.
that's something that we had to check too, and I'm glad that you mentioned that and he mentioned that too. That retesting, it always retest. So
Yeah,
as it
yeah.
starts to go up, sometimes you get some false signals. You just need to wait.
Yeah, wait for the retest. And the term we use is no retest, no entry.
Mm-hmm.
So you wanted to retest, because when it retests,
Mm-hmm.
then it's going to drop or go up depending on the direction you're in,
Yeah,
for the move once it retests.
that's right. And for
Because
me,
when it retests and don't break, it just retested it.
right.
It didn't break it, then you can expect for it to drop.
And this is what I can see. These M's and W's, these double tops, double bottoms. That's what I'm seeing.
Right. And here's the thing with the supply zone, that's a supply zone, it's called a hot zone or whatever. But the supply zone is the beginning of the M pattern. The demand zone is the beginning of the W. So if you're in the supply zone, you're looking at an M.
Mm-hmm.
And we execute on the second leg of each one of those patterns.
Mm-hmm.
That's your momentum leg. That's when it actually drops, or that's when it actually takes up, take off in the up direction, the second leg. And then you'll see too that the system, that's what it identifies. When you see that sell me triple arrow, that's the second leg. Now, could have got it a little earlier, but that's when we made some configurations to it. But that is the second leg of an M.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. Oosh, oosh. Yeah, and if I know the pairs, get to know them a little bit more, then I can feel them out.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think with this system here, you can see things a little more clearly, because the triple arrows identify the M's and W's as well. But it's not to me, it's not as visual as it is on this system. You kind of got to know a little more stuff with the triples, but you can see it more clearly on this system.
This is something that I had not done, which is add the triple arrows onto the system. I didn't even think about doing that.
Yeah. And here's the thing. Now, what I this is what I'm doing. I'm still back testing this weekend, but I'll share with you that I only put the big arrow and the entry arrow on, not the yellow one.
Mm-hmm.
Because,
why?
Yep. Like, give it that. Don't just be throwing that out there. No, what I'm finding, now I am still back testing, but what I'm finding is that the entry arrow, it gives you more a tighter entry, allows you to get in sooner, and it's really shortly before the triples on this system populates. Now, what I've noticed is the distance in pips from the entry arrow to the triples on this system is anywhere from 70 plus pips. So even if you traded from the entry to when the triples show up on this system, you're looking at 70 plus pips just there.
Oh snap! Look at that! Look at that!
You see what I'm saying?
You just 1-2 right there.
Right there.
Now this is the next one.
Right.
Going up.
And
look at that right there. Right there.
Yeah. The entry arrow is configured to, it identifies the move earlier than the settings that's on, you know, this system here.
So entry,
now,
big arrow, triple.
Well, now first you got to go with, you want to go with your big arrow. From the big arrow, once the big arrow populates, it identifies the trend. When that entry arrow populates, that's when you want to get in, because shortly thereafter, the triples on this system is going to populate.
Got it. Oh,
and
snap.
then it will really take you down.
Oh, snap.
That's how we snatching the pips.
Y'all about to get people about their jobs. Y'all just about to liberate folks. Y'all like Harriet Tubman and Nate Turner up in here. Y'all Harriet Tubman. Y'all got the, oh snap.
Setting them free. Setting
them all free.
Yeah. And so now when you get out, then right before our session, I was just finalizing the re-entry. It's so powerful. Okay, so now you get in, right, on your entry arrow. When do you get out? You get out on the opposite entry arrow.
Oh, this guy right there.
Get out right there. Now, that's one way. Now, you can use your support and resistance dot. So I'm not finished customizing that part because there are options that you can use. But at the very least, if you miss anything, you can always get out on the opposite entry, because the opposite entry is a retest. So you know what I mean? You're not going back up.
No, I hear you what you're saying now. On the down, wait for the down, and then take that right about, right? That would show up about here.
Yeah, about 96.
96 hit or Ruskies.
But here's the other thing, because you got your previous support and resistance dots, and honestly, just identifying the previous consolidation, that's the area that you want to really be looking at for your exit. And that's why trailing is more beneficial, because you can trail and just lock in pips as you're going, lock in pips as you're going. So that's the first one, right? Where you can see it consolidated right there.
Right there. Now, when you check consolidation the way that I'm doing it at horizontal line, do you go right to the close or do you go to the wicks?
No, I like the close. I like the body because that's a hard number. It tells you exactly what the price is.
Consolidation. That was a little point that I was missing.
Now, right where the triples are on the new system, you see right where your horizontal, you lined it up with what? Consolidation, right? So what happened, and when it broke out, it retested, I don't know what you call this, the green and red little swerve, but it retested that area and then it dropped.
Oh yeah, this is the algo. He calls it an algo trend line. Yeah, the algo trend line. And it's very much like the MACD. It looks really similar to, not the MACD, the moving 50, the 50. When I put it on here, it looked like it was matching it.
Okay.
Put that on there. It was like,
But yeah, so that's one thing that you
Look at
can,
that.
yeah,
thing
because
is
I
like
have my
right
moving average
there.
on there. Yeah, I
You have,
definitely have my moving average on there.
yeah, you keep it there.
Yeah, I definitely I gotta have the 50.
Got that.
Gotta have the 50. And it all lines up. It all
Yes.
lines up. It lines up so well with our trading plan, but of course, this gives you more confirmation. You can see it better. You can almost reach out and touch it. And, you know what I mean?
Right.
And so
Yeah.
I really, really like the 50 on there
I like the circles too.
because I still wait for my break of the 50. I still do that. But as you can see, you can measure the distance from that entry arrow to the triple arrow where it says sell me, that triple arrow, and that is the amount of pips you would have gotten.
So this over.
So your horizontal line right there.
Boom.
So you're looking at 75 pips just
75
there.
pips.
Now here's the benefit. Of course, you got 75 pips. Now, guess what? The move, once this triple popped up, the move hasn't been made yet. So now once it breaks out, you see the drop down?
Even more.
From that point where it dropped down?
Uh-huh.
Now you capitalize on that.
So this is the pre-move. You get the
pre-move.
pre-move.
Oh,
Look at that. And then you get the 73 again.
Yes, that's the pre-move.
Oh, man.
That's the pre-move. And you can backtest that, just that function with multiple pairs, and you can see the consistency.
Wow. Oh, this ain't right. This ain't right. I'm gonna have to find motivation after I get myself together. I gotta get myself together. But after I get myself together, I'm gonna have to find motivation to be going back to this job.
Listen,
Let me tell you.
I'm telling you.
I'd rather surf. Surf.
Let's just ride. We can ride this way right here.
I'll ride it.
We can ride this way.
Ride them up, ride them on down, ride them on up, surfing all day.
What it honestly does for me, it just inspires me even more to let people know to just rescue as many individuals as I can, because this has never been a time where it's so easy now. You know what I mean? It's just never been a time, and there's no reason to be in lack at this point. Even if, when you first start building, you're trying to get your account up and things like that, you still got your financial responsibilities, but you know where the money's at. It's like,
yes.
Okay, I ain't slipping. I know where the money's at.
Yes. Yeah, that's powerful. Powerful. Yeah. And then you can stop being mistreated.
Absolutely.
Because you say, you know what, you go ahead over there with your foolishness.
Yeah.
I got to roll out. Because I got better things to do. I can still pay my bills.
And I got people to rescue. So, yeah, but this is, and this works. Now, another indice that is powerful is Germ 30. That's a very smooth moving pair.
Does Traders View have that? I don't even.
No.
Okay.
No, Traders View is, they stuck in their ways.
Yeah. I'm thinking about moving on. Oh, I got that on the list here too. Not moving on. I'm not even alive yet, but I'm looking for a regulated brokerage, and I saw AAFX.
Yeah.
And I really like what they're doing. I got access to my crypto, and I got access to the metals.
Yeah.
And that would be the next move. And what would have to happen at the same time, so I guess I can ask you about the technicals, is right now I have a weak computer. It doesn't do a whole lot. I just focus on one thing at a time. MetaTrader is a little bit not clunky, but it's lagging. And the reason why it was lagging is because I had the history that I had to delete. I learned how to do that. And then I lowered the history bars. I lowered that significantly. And then the indicators that are coming in are just
it takes a lot.
It does. So there's lag. There's a lot of lag for all these reasons. And so number one, I need to get a better computer. That is a priority. And then number two, I need to figure out my construction of the license and which systems I'm going to use. So right now I have it on a demo, but should I be confident that the demo, because it is in two different places. It is on the Surfer, the trend, the Simplicity Trend Surfer, and it's on the Simplicity system. So it's in those two places on the demo. Then I need to take that license and I need to move it over to the live, from what I understand. Or is that?
Oh, you can do that?
I don't know, but what he said was you get two licenses. So you get a demo and a live. So if I'm on Traders View, I would think that it would be the demo and the live. But it feels like I've used two of them. So I'm not really sure how clear that is.
Yeah, because you can put your key, your license on any account, but the account that you provided in the email, that is the license that's assigned to that account. So that's why I asked if you can now take that license that's say on your demo and put it on a live account. From what I understood, it wasn't interchangeable. So what I was doing was I just ordered one because I didn't want to do two because I didn't want to lock in another key on a specific account yet until I knew exactly where I wanted to put it. That's what I understood, but I could be wrong.
I don't know. I don't know, because what I told him was I need it on the live account and I need it on the demo account. And I gave him both of them.
Right.
I sent it.
Yeah.
I gave both. I said this account and this account.
Right, right. So now let's say you have your demo account and the key for assigned to the demo account, you want to put it on a different live account. If it's if it's the same broker, you can do that. But if you're going from Traders Way to AAFX, for instance, you can't.
Right. And that's okay. I want to be fair. I want to pay the people. I'm about paying the people. So I'm cool with that. I just want to know what the rules are, considering that I'm going to change computers, and I want to change brokerages, and I want to make sure that's seamless.
Yeah, absolutely.
And I'm going to I don't know how I'm going to do this, right? Because I got this computer right now with Traders Way. Hopefully I have the live. I can do it to the live. I don't know yet. I have no idea. But I'm on the demo. I got it. I'm working on it. And then once I make this transition, I want to keep this. So am I going to have to keep this on a different computer and then like migrate to the really good computer to actually do the real work and then be able to use it over there? I don't know. But either way.
But as long as it's the same broker, you could.
Okay. Oh,
you know what I mean?
Okay.
You're saying as long as it's the same broker.
Oh, okay. So I should be able to migrate to another computer then. I should be good to go. If it's the same broker, then I should be good. Yeah, that's right.
Yeah. He's pretty fair.
Cool.
He's pretty fair.
So I think I'm gonna pull the trigger soonish and purchase that other license just to have.
Yeah. That's
having to hold, because like you said, this Pips surfing is crazy right now, and I'm just getting into it, but I know I was able to pull off some pretty consistent 20 pippers going down the line, and then I got greedy. But you got to do it. You got to get greedy. I learned what happened.
You got to go through it.
I was like, you got to go through the process, and I'm going through it right now because as soon as I got it, I lost it all right away.
Yeah, you got to feel it. You have to feel that. Honestly,
it sucks. I was so happy. I was so proud of myself. I was like, my wife, I was like, look, I made $2.
Yeah.
She didn't get it. She didn't get it.
When I made my first 50 cents, you would have thought I hit the lotto. I was like, oh my God.
It worked.
Yeah, it worked. Exactly.
It worked. I did it right.
Yeah.
So yeah, I'm thrilled. This one was a 46 because this one I was right, which is cool. You're looking at this. This was cool with gold, and it was a big one. But the pips are different on the metals. I didn't know that.
Mm-hmm.
So that was trading at not 10 cents, but I think $1.
Okay, yeah, that's $1.
It's $1. Happy as hell. Got me real fired up. I was like, good, I'm done for the week.
Yeah.
I wasn't really done for the week because I got to keep focus and practice.
Right.
But I was like, ooh, I would be done for the week, probably for 2 weeks. And then $1.41 here. And some of these I started to exit out of which is good for me because it made me realize how impatient I was. So,
Right. Yeah. See, you're figuring those things out about things that you really never had to, you never really was challenged with or had to face those elements, and you don't even really know that it's an issue until you put in a certain circumstance. Because I did not realize that I was greedy. I didn't realize I was impatient. I'm like, wow, I just what? Honestly, at different points, I felt like, what is wrong with me? Like, why did you do that?
yes.
I walk around here talking to myself, but you have to go through that process, and you have to really, honestly, you have to feel the pain.
Mm-hmm.
Because one thing, my elder at my church said, I never forgot it, and he says that pain retains.
Mm-hmm.
When you feel that pain, the pain itself, that feeling locks into your psyche. It locks in. And when you get anywhere close to that scenario that created that pain, you immediately feel it as if it had just happened. Mm-hmm. And it will become what stops you from moving forward. And if that's not the truth, now in this case here, the pain had to intensify a little before I got to the point where I said, I ain't going nowhere. I'm not doing that no more. You know what I mean? So like when I lost like maybe $10, okay, I'm going back in, still not disciplined. But when it started getting up to $500 and $600, I was like, okay, no, I can't. But it started getting to the point where I was blowing $1,000 accounts blown.
Oh
but
man.
That level of pain is far more intense than that $10.
Yeah.
And that's when I said, no
more. You had enough of the beating. That was enough. That was definitely a black eye. Oh.
I'm waiting. I'm a wait.
I gotta feel it for you, so I can just not do that. But it's a learning game. The school of life.
Yeah. Absolutely.
The school of life. You got to be brave enough to continue to trek forward.
Yes.
So that's what I pray for. Give me the courage to continue.
You're be very successful.
Take these lumps.
Jason, I see you as an instructor, a coach, a trainer. Cool. There's going to be many individuals that you're going to impact with your knowledge and your ability to break the charts down. You know, that's already ahead of you. What you're doing right now is just building your road. Mm-hmm. You're just building a road.
I like how Uncle P talks about and does, thank you for that, and does the give back. You know, he's like, we trying to get this money out the Forex market so that we can do the right thing with it.
Absolutely. Absolutely. And
so I'm fired up.
You're not worried about, oh, I can't, my heart says I want to, but I know I got this bill. No, we know where the money at.
Mm-hmm. Right.
You know where it's at.
Right. So now I'm teaching some mathematics that I actually believe in. if down the line, I gotta be ready for that.
Yes.
Now this is the math we could be talking about. The algebra, that's good stuff. You keep your algebra over there. You keep your algebra in your head if you want to. We're gonna take this algebra and we're gonna convert it into some pips.
We're gonna convert that into some pips.
We're gonna flip it. Okay.
We're gonna build generational wealth. Our kids are gonna be just fine. And this is simple enough that a child can do. It is. It's not just a slogan. It really, really is. You're just matching colors and arrows.
Oh my goodness. I don't know how much the price of this thing. I'm looking at this like $1.40. It's like going to the store and you got them 10-cent bag of chips. When you go to the store and the price of the bag is $10, you go, what? 10 cents? That don't happen no more. That don't happen no more. Remember the quarter waters? Just the quarter waters.
The quarter. And what you do? The super sale, you just grab all
of them. Get them up. Hook it up. When you got $2, you feel like the rich man on the block because you hooking everybody up. You got $2, you like, hey, the whole crew's gonna go down.
Absolutely.
$5, you a boss.
You're a boss. You killing
this. This is the now or laters. You talk about now or later. This the 10 cent, 5 cent now or later.
That's what this is.
Right now, anyway.
Exactly what this is.
right
I
now.
tell you. And honestly, and there's no monthly fee because he can really charge a monthly fee for the service.
You could.
But that's not his heart. And I don't see him ever doing that. But it's a possibility that it may go up. And I won't even be mad at him. I mean, you can't be mad. This is powerful. You know, but he not really trying to hurt anyone. Their pocket. Generous guy.
Oh man. Oh man.
So what else we got? What else we got?
I got stuff. I still got the list here. I'm getting all this great knowledge. I'm unloading kind of how I was going through my process, which is great. How about the lag on MT4? How are ways that you have improved the lag situation? Is that something that I'm missing?
On the MT4, like the movement of?
Right. For example, let's go and move this to profile. Let's go to early morning. I mean, all right, now it just jumped. That's good. That's good. I'm going from 1 to 2, 2 to 3. All right, this is good. Now, normally, sometimes this doesn't happen as smooth. Sometimes there's a hold up.
Well, now some things you want to consider too is the market is closed, so there is not a lot of traffic on MT.
Right. That's now. Yes. So, right. So when there is traffic, I'm getting the lag.
Right, you're getting the lag. So you cleaned up your history. That definitely is a plus.
I did that.
You know, honestly, just antivirus, having a sound antivirus protection on there, that definitely is a plus.
Antivirus.
And yeah.
I need to get that. And then getting maybe a new computer.
Because what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna get a new computer just for trading. And I just kind of cleaned up some stuff because honestly, that's all I really do on here is my email and trading. But I do YouTube. I take that back. So that's another thing. I don't think that for me, that can slow it up too when you go on these social sites because you expose your computer to viruses and such. But outside of that, those are really the only things that you could do. And you really should see an improvement.
Okay. I think I just need a new computer.
Internet.
I just need to get
having strong internet connection as well.
Okay. I think it's the processor on this thing. I think I have to pony up and just invest in the better equipment. I do gaming, not on this, but I'm just into gaming media and all that stuff. And I've got two different laptops. We got iPads and stuff. We're running crazy here. So I think this device needs to be significantly better. So I think I just need to go do it because I'm going to do it anyway.
Right.
Just pull off the Band-Aid for that one. Okay. How about price moving while the markets are closed? For example, USD CAD at 6/11/2020 on the M30. At this time, it was running up a bill.
Really?
I didn't know why. It was just, it was the 12th. This was yesterday. I wrote it down. It was yesterday. USD CAD was moving. It wouldn't be moving now, but so some of them were moving, and maybe
When was this?
yesterday, last night.
Well, the market was open.
Last night, USD CAD.
Oh yeah, that's a foreign currency. Yeah, I mean, it doesn't matter because the market's open, so everything's moving.
So the New York market was closed though.
No, but even though the New York market is closed, all pairs move. No pair just don't move. Now, when you have a pair that like USD CAD in the Asian session, right? So the New York market is closed, but there's still momentum. It's just the volume is lower. And so keep in mind, no matter what pair it is, every pair moves in every session. Now, what the difference is, I should say, is if you are trading a so-called New York pair, because it's really not a New York pair. It's really not a London pair, it's really not, because all of them move, but in certain sessions, certain pairs move stronger. So in your, your New York session, your USD move obviously much stronger in the New York session, but it still moves in London. It still moves in Asian, but the volume is not as,
So you can trade it still?
yeah,
Oh, snap. Even when it's out of session.
oh yeah. The session just tells you what pair moves the most. So in New York session, New York pairs move the most. In Asian sessions, Asian pairs move the most, and so on and so forth. But all of them move all the time. All of them move all the time. There's still setup opportunities, even though it's outside of the session, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's still setup opportunities available. And then you can have a news event, for instance, say in Asia session that impacts the USD pair, and you can have, say, USD JPY spike up or spike down because of the news event. So it never shuts down. It's open 24 hours a day, 5 days a week.
Nice. Okay, so on that topic, then, we know that the metals trade 6 days a week, 23 hours, like 6 days a week, something like that, right? All the time.
Mm-hmm.
Why can't I trade it now? Because my broker is closed. Oh, what brokerage would allow me to trade gold?
Any broker that has indices, crypto, metals, you can trade it. But if your broker does not, like Traders Way, you can't trade Bitcoin. Now, Traders Way has Bitcoin, but they have restrictions whereby you can't trade it on the weekends.
Right, exactly.
You see what I'm saying?
Right,
so
yeah.
It's the broker that determines what you can actually trade.
Right. So which traders that you know of allows you to trade crypto on the weekends?
Hugo's Way.
Okay.
FX Choice. AAFX.
Okay.
CoinX. I'm just thinking off the top of my head. And COT Forex. KOT Forex.
Okay. Yeah. KOT.
You can trade. Now, with those that I just mentioned, you can trade foreign currency and crypto indices, metals. You can trade everything on them.
Nice. And why is Hugo's Way and COT Forex your choice opposed to an AAFX when they are unregulated?
Well, it's just preference. You're saying why one chooses one over the other? Yeah, it's just preference. It's just preference. Yeah. And so basically, what I like to do is I'll, look at the options, the pros and the cons for each broker, and then I'll base my decision on that. Because none of them are have the exact same pros and the exact same cons. So you just have to decide based on what's best for you.
AAFX, I think is where I'm going to go for the live. I'm trying to weed them out. At least start. I mean, as I grow, I could grow out, but I just need to do one thing, one time. Right now, it's Traders Way. So I'm just thinking the next steps. Like, where do I go for my live? And once I get my new stuff, and I want to be able to trade foreign. I want to be able to trade crypto on the weekends. That's really important to me. As I wrote out my schedule, it was like foreign exchange, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, Thursday, and then Friday, Saturday, Sunday is crypto. So I can focus on crypto, focus on real estate, which is crazy because some people are like, oh, I don't trade crypto on the weekends, but it just makes sense to me in my schedule. So I like it. Figure that out. Good. And
not only that, not just Bitcoin, you can trade Ripple, you can trade Ethereum. Like, it's not just Bitcoin, you can trade the other ones too.
Oh, they gonna go nuts too. They gonna have a heyday because I don't know if I told you, but XRP and XLM, they blew up over 500%, 500x. I should say that right. 500x they went up over the last halving of it. They're not going to do that again. My estimation is that they're not going to do that again. But 100x is pretty
Yeah.
doggone good.
Yes, it is. Yes, it is.
Yeah,
I
you
gotta
get
get
it.
in the habit of checking my account regularly because I just let it sit there and do what it do. And
Yeah, right.
sometimes
Hold,
I forget, but I need to check that.
hodl, hodl. So that's good. Get that one done. Controlling the alerts on the MT4 new system. Do you know how to control the alerts on the MT4?
Yeah, well, you can control it how.
I have no idea how to. So we go to alert. You know, we throw this down. We create one. We go to let's say on JP, and let's say it's male or foul or sound.
Oh,
Um,
okay, okay. I see what you're talking about. Okay, because there's a different type of alert as well. Okay, so when you say control it though, what type of control are you looking for?
so I was gonna do email, and the email issue came up. Um, but this, first of all, it just randomly pops up all over the place. I don't know why. It just randomly goes bing, and I have nothing on here. So that's number one. It just
Okay, now what you're doing in this box though
Mhm,
is you are putting in an alert on a specific price point.
mhm.
This alert doesn't coincide with the arrow. So is that what you wanted?
Um, no, I prefer them to coincide with the hours. It'd be great, but this only does price.
Yeah, this is
This,
if you want to go in and put in an alert on a certain price point
yeah.
on your chart. But as far as the alerts on the arrows, when you go, you got to come out of there and just right click, go back to indicator list. And
Oh,
so for instance, if you want to put in an alert or you want to adjust the alert on say the entry. So go to the entry arrow or little arrow, yours said little arrow.
so edit.
Uh-huh. Now, so inputs.
Ah,
So right in here, you got your alert message. You haven't set alert, yeah, yours was off, but just put it on and every time that entry arrow or that little arrow populates, it will alert you.
nice. And it'll alert on the computer. So I gotta put like a speaker on it so I can hear it. Because this won't do, it'll do email. That's interesting.
Yeah, it will do email. Now this is on the new system. You got to set it up on the and I don't know how to set it up on the for the email on the old system, but the
Okay.
is built in, so you don't have to do all that extra stuff. But just to get the alert on your MT4, so
Mhm.
whenever that happens, you'll get an alert on your phone that says this arrow just populated. You know what I mean?
It,
And,
I'm getting it now. I'm getting it now. I don't know how it does it. I can't. Yeah,
yeah.
it's cool.
Yeah, but this is how you can even cut it off if you wanted to. This is where you would go to do that.
Okay, so this is the new. This is this. This is just for MT4, and yeah, it yes, the new system. I'm getting it. I'm getting it. It
Mhm.
does all your trades too. All the
Yeah,
trades that you do, it does.
yeah, and you can So even if so for me, I don't trade a whole lot of pairs. So the pairs that I like to trade that I'm trading, I just put my alert in for that. That way, it just helps me to stay centered on that.
Hmm.
When those pairs happen. But I like the fact that you have that flexibility in it.
Yeah, that's that's amazing. So this is for the alert system. Okay, I didn't even see this here. So this is great. And I'll try to figure out email, but it's lagging. So this one is like enabling email is might be tough for me to do right now. But at least I know where it is and I can mess with it. So this is how I do it on an alert, on an indicator, on
Right.
an indicator. Put it on the indicator.
And that can be any one of those, the big arrow or whichever, the yellow arrow.
Nice. And since we got this new little trick we've been talking about, town bow, you can even do it on the entry arrow. It's this one. Alert on, true. So that is true. Send an email, not yet. But
Yeah, because there's an additional thing you got to do. It gets real. I guess it's not difficult. I just didn't. Hey, if it comes on my phone through my MT4, that's good enough for me.
right. I like it. I like that a lot too. That's all I need. No, it's in here. It's not the charts. It is email. You got to enable it, and then you need to go through this. But this was giving me a hiccup, and it's fine. I don't need it. I like the MT4. I trust it. The triple arrows are coming in, but we just talked about this one here, the entry arrows. So I'll have to mess with that. Control alerts email at that time. Licenses and live account, we talked about that. Questions about AAFX, we talked about that. Trailing stop losses.
Okay. Well, trailing stop. Trailing stop is it has a stop loss protection built in it, which is a pro to trailing it. Because basically what you're doing is trailing the trend, and based on the parameters that you put, it will stop you. If it goes to those points, it'll just take you out the trade without you losing the pips that you gain. So that is the positive with trailing stop. It's very powerful to do that, to trail your stop. Another benefit pro is that it would allow you to capitalize on as many pips as you can get, more or less. But the protection piece is what's really valuable with a trailing stop. You don't got to worry about it. You can put it down. I trade on my phone, so I do it on the phone. But the same thing you can do on your computer if you're on the computer. You know what I mean? If you happen to not be near your computer for whatever reason, you can customize the parameters on the trailing stop. So you can say, go to custom. You can go to custom right there.
Oh, oops. So right here on price, we go to trailing stop, we go to custom.
Right. Now, right there, the level. So if you have 15 points, basically at that price point now, that's the thing. So let's say you're going for your 20 pips. You have your 20 pips. Now, you don't have a TP on the trailing stop either. You don't have to take profit because you don't want the market to take you out. You want the trailing stop to take you out. So you got your 20, right? And it's still rolling. About 15 pips from the 20, you can go ahead and put your trailing stop in. So let's say at price point, I'm gonna just throw a price out there. At price 9306.15, that was with the price where you got your 20 pips at that point. Now you're gonna let price go beyond that to about maybe 15 pips, and you can customize it the way you want, but I usually do about 15 pips beyond my 20. Then I'm going to lock that in. Then I'm going to put my trailing stop in. You see what I mean? So you can put trailing stop at 15. So now what the system is going to do is, if price goes the opposite way, 15 pips is going to take you out.
If price goes 15 pips down in the other direction, is that what you just said?
Right, whether you buying or selling. So if it goes in the opposite direction of your position, whatever you put in that trailing stop level, that is the pip count that it will take you out at.
Got it.
Now, what I like about the phone and the way I do it is, first of all, I do it on my phone. Now, let's say I got my 20 pips at 9306.15. I let it go 15 pips beyond that, right? Then what I'm going to do is I'm going to put my stop loss. I'm going to go in my phone put a stop loss of 9306.15. So, because that's my 20 pip point. That's where I got my 20 pips at. So now I'm in a risk-free trade. No matter what it does, I got 20 pips. And you do that by simply putting the number in the stop loss. Now I'm rolling, right? I'm trailing the trend. So now 15 additional pips, because I usually go 15 pip increments after that. So whatever that additional 15 pip price point is, let's say it's 9236.15. Now I'm gonna take that price and put that in my stop loss. So now I just gained an additional 15 pips. So if price goes back up and hit that price point, it'll take me out, but I walk away with 35 pips. So I think for me, I just like the control. I don't know if I just got used because I always trade on my phone. I don't know if that's it, but it just feels like I have more control over just pinching off the pips, you know, and keep going. Oh, like I look and say, oh, you're still rolling. Okay, let me take some more pips off the top. You see what I mean?
Cream off the top.
Yeah.
Cream off the top.
Yeah. And that's how because we're doing 20 pips, but you already know that price goes beyond that. It'll go beyond that. And that's fine. Lock in the 20. Lock in the 20.
Right.
And then trail the rest. Pinch off the rest. Whether you can do 10 pip increments, get additional 10 pips. Oh, it's still going, get another 10 pips, based on what you like. But the way that you do that is you put the price point in the stop loss category. Hold on 1 second, baby.
Okay.
Ooh, you scared me? Sorry about that, Jason.
That's all right.
Yeah, I'm preparing for tomorrow. I had to cut my calendar off today.
Yeah.
Because I needed a break. I'm gonna be honest.
You going hard in the paint. You got to take time for you.
Yeah. And so
You got to.
just gearing up for tomorrow because it's gonna be nice and rolling tomorrow.
That's
So,
nice.
but yeah.
What do you got planned for tomorrow, if I may ask?
Oh, well, sessions. I have a new trader, so that's gonna be a longer one.
Right.
And then I have 2 more sessions in addition to that, and then my back testing. So, but that's that's what the weekend looks like for me. It's all good.
Nice.
It's all good. Listen, I'm quarantined, and
I'm loving it.
Quarantined as a 6-figure, 7-figure earner, and I'm taking as many people with me as I can.
Oh, that's big time. That's big time. I'm excited. I'm excited for you and your success. Congratulations. Congratulations. Congratulations.
We all gonna hit that finish line.
Yeah. Oh my goodness. And there's a lot of work to be done.
Yes, it is.
There's a lot of people in the streets right now, but I don't know if I told you this, but white guilt does not lead to Black salvation and Black freedom. It doesn't. It don't.
Not at all.
You feel bad all you want, but you ain't changing them laws so that we can actually have a fair shot. You ain't changing them laws to give us what we actually deserve. And what we actually deserve is that $15.3 trillion, or some people say $56 trillion that you owe us. Y'all ain't coughing that up. I ain't got nothing for you. Give me my money.
It's an insult. It's an insult. You know, and I'm gonna be real honest. You know, changing the laws and enforcing them and having more diverse, well, aside from diverse, African American individuals in high political offices that have, you know, decision power. You know, we in all levels, city council, governor, mayor, Senate, Congress, you know, different judicial areas within the judicial system. All of those, we got this. It cannot be one white blanket or one black blanket or whatever. It just needs to have. We definitely need to have that, because, you know, honestly, even if by some miracle they do dispense that kind of money, that's not going to impact future generations. That's not going to increase our opportunity as, you know, American citizens that have a stake that don't, you know, come on, no. That's what they need to do.
Fully contribute. Yeah.
The law needs to change.
Yeah.
And, you know,
they need to enforce it. And we need to be occupying those positions of political office, police office, judicial office, all of those.
All of that, it needs to change. It absolutely. And I personally believe that, you know, Congress in the Senate, they need to have a term in which they
limit
serve.
a limit. They got to go.
They have to go.
They got to go.
You know, and from a very common sense level too. Like you have to always be open to change.
Yeah.
But if you have a certain mindset that you place in a position for years and there's no area of requalification, then that's a problem. As we can very well see, that's a problem. But you know, we got to do what we can. And at the end of the day, money isn't everything, but it sure makes a big difference. It sure opens up some doors. It definitely makes life a little easier. And I think that we just have to start there, you know?
Yeah, absolutely. 1000%. We can't keep begging people for funding to fund our ventures, ideas, innovations, problems, ability to solve problems.
No.
You've got to be able to fund it internally. You got to be able to say, we got it. We can do it. Yeah, I heard in New York, I don't know if you heard this, but a friend of mine told me that the Jewish community basically did not go on a lockdown. They basically said, no, we ain't doing that. But they had the power to do so.
Wow.
They had the power to say, that ain't what we doing.
Wow.
We donate $50,000 a year to your thing. We don't donate, you know, X amount of money to your thing. We ain't doing that.
Right.
So that's fascinating to me.
That speaks volumes of the power of the power of, you know, financial stability, of course, but the power of community.
Community. That's it.
Working together. Community. Those elements have to be, you know, they have to be in place, because if we're not working together, one cause, one mind, one movement, then there's going to be some, you know, division. And a house divided cannot stand.
It cannot at all. But we getting united. We getting united around this surfing. So as you can see, I'm stuck in this trade, which is a learning opportunity again, because I just traded too late, and Traders View was like, "You're done." When they pulled.
Where did you get in?
I got in here. I got in. I think it was some. I don't know how they changed it. It looked like it changed on me here. Hold on now. I got in when it was green. It was straight. I would not have gotten in. It was, wait a minute, on the 15th.
Well, put your horizontal line, your crosshair, so I can see the area. And what chart did you get in on?
What
time frame?
It doesn't say here. but I thought I got in on the 15 or the 30. So one of these, it was, it had to have been here. Nope, nope, nope.
And what position did you? Okay, so you did a buy.
Let me see. I did a buy.
Okay.
94.66 was the price. That was,
Now, what made you get a buy when there is this is a selling trend though?
no.
On the 30 anyway. On the 30, it's bearish trend.
Here. So I
Okay,
must
there
have
go your,
gotten in
I see your
here.
buy right there. So you got in there?
I think so, somewhere in here. But
Okay.
it was all green though. I'm pretty sure it was green. I'm pretty sure.
Well, it was,
So
but that was after the fact you saw that it was all green because you wouldn't have seen that. But after, right, from that point, from that point, the right side of that vertical line, you would not have seen that. What part are you saying is green?
all I know is when I got in, it was green. I
Okay.
don't think that I got in. This is an aggressive trade, as Uncle P would say. I don't think that I got in there. I'm trying to remember. This was today in the morning, and I know that I checked my time frames. That's in seller's territory. This one, well, bottom line is this is a bad trade. And
Well, but it's still there. So you got it for is that the 4 hour?
here we
Yeah.
go. This is the
Okay.
4 hour now. Yeah.
Okay. So
So yeah, this, and what I have to do is journal. So all your questions are valid. What I got to do is journal. I need to start whenever I make these trades, write down all my facts and the conditions
yeah,
and
absolutely.
say why, so I can learn.
Yeah. No, you're right. A trading journal is
Listen,
pivotal. But
listen.
on the higher time frame, it's going in your direction though. So
Yeah, so I thought I read it right. So this leads to my last question,
okay.
which is how far between these two bands here, between the supply zone and demand zone, is the latest that you would trade this pair? Because you don't want it in the middle. You don't want it in the middle. And how much are you looking at the candles and where the candles are versus where our algo trend is located as we use the new system? So I guess it's like a double question. So sometimes in some of these trades, for example, this is a good one here. The arrows come in, it's clearly inside the zone, easy peasy, pull the trigger. And the candles are also inside the zone, easy peasy, pull the trigger. For something that may be a little less obvious, let me try to see if this a little less. Okay, so like this around here. This one's in the middle, so I probably wouldn't take this. This is not good. This is too far in the middle. But at some point in between here and here, we're looking at the candles or we're looking at the buy me triple arrows. At which point are you like, nah, that's too risky? You know, the distance between here.
Well, if for a buy, looking at that particular example,
This is in the middle.
yeah, but I'm not really looking at that. I'm looking at the setup. Wherever that setup appears, I'm gonna base my trade on that. So, but you gotta have your confirmations. So when I say the setup, everything needs to line up according to your confirmations. And if they don't, then I don't take it. So in this case right here, so I wouldn't be getting in that because one, I would need my 50 on there because it's like I can't even see the chart without my 50. That's my first thing is I want my 50 on there. And if I came to the market at that point, see, I would just need my stuff. I don't have my stuff. So
Okay.
I would need my
Okay.
50. I need my support resistance dots. Yeah, I would need that kind of stuff on there.
So we just have.
So right now with the new system, I have not. Why is that there? You buying? Okay, so now this is what's interesting. Okay, you see the entry dot, right? That green one right there, the green one before the bullish
Mhm.
move right there.
Mhm.
Once my price would have crossed above that and closed the 50, above the 50, the first green candle that would have closed above the 50, that would have been my entry.
Okay.
Now let's
Right
go,
there.
no, even a little further before that.
Oh, over here.
Yeah. I mean, either one, you could have did either one, but
Right there.
so now let's measure that area, the close of that candle to the triple arrows that populated.
45
Right. So
Check.
that's when I would have got out. I would have just got out on there. See that the
Oh,
entry
wow.
candle is pivotal. That's the first move. Now I'm out, got my pips. Now I'm waiting for the next setup. The next setup,
Mm.
you see what I mean?
Yeah, I feel you. I feel
Yeah.
you. I understand. It's about the structure.
Yeah.
System. Hard and fast foundation.
Absolutely. Now,
I get it.
now look at the pivot point of where the triple arrow is, right at the top, where it came up right there. Put a horizontal line there, please. Let me show you something. Bam. Now look to the left and okay, so you see where is the horizontal? Okay, there you go, the red. Where did that sit at? When you look to the left, it sat right on that little consolidation area.
Mhm.
See that?
Yep, the last consolidation area
Right.
in that line.
Right. So what that tells me is, okay, because price is above my 50, I see that, right? And at that point right there, let's say before the bearish candle, let's say I wouldn't have known that yet, right? So I see this bullish candle, I'm looking left. I'm looking for the previous consolidation.
So from here,
Yes.
okay.
And I put my horizontal right on the close of that candle and look, it coincides with that level of consolidation. So what that tells me right there is I will not take this trade because my next candle is likely to pull me back. See,
Because
you don't
of
really need
this.
your support resistance dots to, it helps, but it's the same, you read the same thing. So that right there says, wait, pause, see what the next candle going to do. And clearly it pulled back. Now we know a pullback is nothing more than another setup opportunity. So once it pulls back, what we're waiting for is the bullish candle above the 50, and then we get in. And we just keep wash, rinse, repeat, wash, rinse, repeat. Another way that you can get in with this new system is wait for the next re-entry candle. I'm sorry, arrow. The next. And you see that, I don't know if that's it. So that's not the entry arrow. But just to even make it more simpler or clear, you can wait once you get out. So we already know that you're riding a bullish trend. We know we only looking for buys. So when the first entry arrow populated, we got in and we rode it until the triple arrow populated. Bam, we got out. Now we're not going to get back in until when? Until the next entry arrow populates. And we just keep riding it like that, riding it like that. So that's another way that you can actually get in for re-entry.
So you're not even riding the triple at all. You're just getting short pips. Short pips.
Yeah, absolutely. Because, right, you're not, well, you are, but you're not, because you don't see it on this system, but in essence, you're doing the same thing. But when you add certain elements of the triple to this, it gives you a better entry, and it allows you to get that first move, which is the second leg of, in this case, a W pattern. Come on now. Second leg of the W pattern. And then after that second leg of the W pattern, what does it do? It pulls back. Every single time it's doing the same thing. So it pulls back, and now that it pulled back, now you have another opportunity to go to level 2. See, level 2. I'm talking about Elliott waves. But
Yeah.
price moves in levels. Now when you go,
Yeah.
guys, when you pull back, now it's going to
Mhm.
go to level 2. The next push up is level 2,
Level 2, or the
right?
continuation, right?
Right.
So
Bam.
impulse, pull
Hey,
back, and hits the continuation. That's what you're
right.
talking about.
Absolutely.
I
Now, how
see
do
it.
you know when to get in?
Uh-huh.
The entry, the small entry arrow will populate. When it
Ah,
populate, guess what? We in the
small
trade.
arrow populate. And now, like you said, with the levels, I really like that. So it's 1, and then it's going to pull back, and then hit 2, and then you can rock and roll on this bad boy until, well, if depending on where it's located, right? If it were located a little bit lower, you'd be able to even go
Yeah.
higher, but this
Yeah.
should be bouncing back and forth in between here. So we expect this next level to
Shoot it right up.
pop
Now,
up.
here's the thing. Something you said, very important. The entry arrow that you put on there, that is the beginning. That's the best. That's the beginning of the move.
Mm,
And you would have been able to catch the beginning of the move out of the demand zone.
mm. Of move out of hot zone.
Yep. Now, typically, and again, this takes studying the pairs and
Mhm.
identifying level 2. When price gets to level 2 on pretty much all the pairs, that it tends to continue in that direction. Now, it'll still pull back, but it tends not to pull back down to level 1.
Mm.
It tends not to. So if you got in your trade at level 1, guess what? You rolling in profits.
Mm.
Even with pullbacks, you rolling in profits.
So level 2 is more stable.
Yeah, level
What?
2.
Why do you think that is? Why do you think that that second level, like it retest after the retest, it kind of just stays in that direction? Well, maybe because of what you taught me the first time, which is price always moves as an impulse, correction, impulse wants to move in that direction. That's kind of what you said.
Well, yeah, and that happens in all levels, though. Price always go through those 3 phases in all levels. But the bigger picture, as far as why that particular level is momentous, and that is a lot of broker decisions. Like we notice price movement. Now, the broker does control a lot of I ain't gonna say a lot though, but they are able to consolidate their markets. They're able to do that. They're able to spike the markets. They're able to keep in mind the broker has money that they need to make. And so those levels have a lot to do with it too. So they're taking all of this into consideration. Retail traders, position traders, and them brokers, they're traders too. So, but they hold the car, so they're the dealer. And so they have a strategic way of making their money, and it tends to be at a level 2 period. That's like a big push up or a big push down. And then when it pulls back, it's only going to pull back a certain percentage. Usually, I have to say words like that because sometimes they do crazy stuff, but usually it's like 50% of that impulse move up or down. Usually. See, now we're getting into Fibonacci. And the Fibonacci shows you those levels and it tells you, okay, price in the golden zone, which is 50%, price will always hit it. Always hit. It's like a magnet. Price is pulled to that 50% because overall, that is the 50% area is the medium, if you will, between the previous high and low of price. It's the medium. And so price always finds itself back to home base, which is medium, right? So the only thing we don't know, and I always say is that we don't know when, because we can't control the movement of price. We just know that it's going to hit it. It's going to hit it. And looking at that level right there, I think that you're about at you're probably at a 38 to a 50. I think that horizontal on the last one you dropped, I think that's about a 50.
Okay.
I
Okay.
think that's about a 50. If you put your fib on there, it's either 38 or 50. But that's the, you know, the science behind why it moves, you know, more stronger on that second leg, on a second level, I should say, because that's, it's different than the leg. It's the second level.
Let's see. Ooh, 50.
Bam,
Right above it. Yeah.
right there. So you're right at the 50, and
Uh-huh.
and then at the 50, you pulling back.
Right.
So I got home base. Boom, I touched the base. Now,
Right. Coming back.
you know, we go back, and then once it comes back to the 50,
Mm-hmm.
it will rally up to the next level. To your 61.
It will rally to 61. Now that's incredible. I find that to be regulatory because the markets can get out of control
Yeah.
if there's not a consistent pattern. So their role is really important to help regulate things without them shooting
Right.
to the moon
Right.
and shooting back down.
Exactly.
You know, they're slowing it down. They're giving it a buffer.
Exactly. Yeah. And so when we, as retail traders, when we get to play, we got the playbook. Guess what? We can always pull some pips out of the deal. Always, always, always. And when you look left, whether we have support or resistance dots or not, only thing you're looking for is previous support and resistance, because those are areas where price will react. And when you put your fib on there and you see that it reacted in a key area, oh yeah, yeah. You know what's happening. And this is aside from candlestick patterns. This is aside from all the other little indications that we know of to tell us what price is going to do. The fib is very, very, very powerful. I like the fib. But it's really nothing more than support and resistance. That's all the Fibonacci is.
Support. Resistance. Wow, I got a lot of notes here.
Look, you be pulling it out. You be pulling it out.
Yeah.
But I like the
questions.
I like the questions. That's how you gotta learn, though. That's how you gotta learn. So I like the questions.
Sticking with it. So how long do you think normally your students stay in demo?
Well, I'm gonna be honest, they don't stay in demo long enough.
Okay.
Because everyone wants to jump to the live, which is fine, but you need to have a strategy, you need to have understanding, you need to build up your trading muscle, which means patience, discipline, focus, understanding. You know, you got to build that up, because there is a clear psychological difference from trading demo to live. And when you go to live too soon without building your you know, understanding and such, you're gonna hit the wall, because you have not been in demo enough to build those areas that you know, make you, you know, successful. So now that when you switch over, now the cycle, because you haven't built the psyche yet, now all those times you was winning in demo, you come out and you expect the same thing to happen in live, and it doesn't. It doesn't. The longer you're in demo, the better you're going to be on live. Now, it's an individual thing, but what I like to do is I like to have benchmarks. You know, and that's why we do the 30 profitable trades. The reason behind that is it gives you the training, if you will, to build up your skill set and build up those other muscles, getting 30 profitable trades. Because here's the thing, you're not going to get 30 straight profitable trades. You're not going to do it. And that's a good thing, because you got to learn from your mistakes. But if you're in demo getting that and you accomplish that, you're far more equipped and on your live account to duplicate that. So that would be my first suggestion to people is to get through your first 30 profitable trades
Mhm.
before you go live.
I don't know where I am on that.
Huh?
I said, I don't know where I am on that. Profit. I don't feel like I have a strong enough.
Well, you got to operate with that spreadsheet too,
Mhm.
based
Right.
on the spreadsheet, which is
Right.
inside of the Telegram. So each trade you take, it should be in accordance with where you are as far as your balance on the
Mhm.
spreadsheet.
Yes. Oh, yeah. That's this guy. I do like that. That's
Yeah,
nice.
that's
You did a
pivotal.
good job with that. That's nice. Yeah. I also like the idea of either doubling and tripling the demo account first that you started with.
Yeah. Yeah, it's important to have a system though. There has to be a roadmap, a system that you operate on when you're trading. We have a trading plan. Then you have to create a trading journal. You got to have
Mhm.
tools to guide you. A trading environment. I speak a lot about that. Your environment is pivotal to your trading success. And each person's trading environment is different. You got to create that based on your lifestyle, your demands and things like that. And then a training plan. I don't know if I said that, but yeah.
Mhm.
So you got to have those things.
Trading journal, trading plan, trading environment.
Yes.
Trading the 3 T's. Trading plan. Okay. Absolutely. Well, I'm in. I'm all in. I think that there's no choice. Um, not that this isn't the coolest thing ever, which I think it is. It's math applied. I think it is really cool.
Yeah.
But now I have an added, I guess, motivation of making sure that my son can and the only way my son will be able to do this if I teach it to him. So
Right.
I need to be extraordinarily proficient at it and show him success through this. So,
Yes.
um,
Absolutely.
and
And imagine, oh my gosh, imagine starting him now, getting him accustomed to the charts and, getting him accustomed to the terminology at that age.
Mm.
Imagine when he's 14.
Mm.
Game is over.
Yeah. He's going to be a monster.
Yeah.
He's going to be a monster. I just need to make sure that he, I'll put a budget around him. I gotta grow him up with a budget.
Yeah.
Otherwise, he going to be like, oh, shoot, free money.
Right. And how
money.
to teach them in the beginning is that's the foundation that they're going to operate on.
Yeah, but he should.
But honestly, I have a group that I'm in that's ran by a 14-year-old. Jason, when I'm telling you, this guy, this little kid, is a monster. He
so cool.
makes money. He's a chart master, and he's 14.
Wow. That's amazing.
14.
How cool is that? That is cool, though. Because it ain't about your age.
It's not even about your age.
What you delivering?
Yes.
How do you deliver?
And he understands these charts. He calling out these charts like nobody's business. 14.
Wow. Where is he from?
Actually, I think he is in the U.S. I'm going to send you the link to his Telegram.
That's amazing. Yes, I would love to learn from talent and young talent. I love young talent.
Young talent.
14. We need to. These young people right now today, they got more common sense than these adults like nobody's. But they got more common sense. This is the Tide Pod eating generation too, by the way. That's saying something about these adults we got nowadays.
That's what it's saying.
Because these young people have more maturity. They got more common sense.
Yep.
They got more morality and ethics about them than these adults.
They're not, like their thinking is not so crystallized in one realm, right? And they haven't been impacted by life, to be real honest, right? Like they haven't, and they have a sense of fearlessness, and this sense is good, where they're open to different things. They're open to, they're not trying to fit in the norm. They're just open to learning different ways, doing things different. And that's what it takes, you know, to really expand and grow in life. But, you know, adults, they're just so set. So it's crystallized thinking. And just the mere thought of thinking outside of that box is such a foreign concept for them. And that is the reason why they stay stuck in a box.
Mhm.
They stuck in a box.
Yeah, and it's not good for
No.
global competition and economics and development and growth, and it's just foolery. It is foolery happening here. Now, I'd love to be hooked up with that group. I think that that'll be great. I love seeing young people and talent understanding this stuff. This is math. This is the real math. I talk about STEM. I'm doing STEM stuff, but this is the
Okay.
real math.
Yeah.
STEM, science, technology, engineering, math,
This is really
design
it.
and curriculum, and this is the math.
Yeah.
This is the math.
Mhm.
Wow, 14 years old. What are we gonna do with him? What do you want to do? What does he want to do, I guess? So what does he want to do is the real question.
Yeah, I mean, because the world is,
This
you got
is
you know, I would like, he was on a webinar of another young lady that I'm with her group. And matter of fact, I'm gonna find that webinar and send that to. He was on there, 14 years old.
I love it.
And I'm gonna find that one and send that one to you.
I love it. Let's stop messing up this world for these young people.
Yeah.
Putting them at $1.3 trillion in debt.
And that.
Making it so they can't even buy a house. They can't even buy a house. They get out.
Nope.
Can't get one. Can't get one. Starting off their life in $80,000 of debt.
Can't get a decent job either.
No.
You know? So
No.
this is the answer. Now they're in a position where they can create jobs.
Yes. Yes.
Create a job.
Yes.
And the state of technology, come on now. People not even leaving their homes and making thousands of dollars a day.
It's so true. I
I
want some of that. I love being at home. I never knew how much I like being at home.
Yeah, I love it.
I see my kids. I eat lunch, eat breakfast with them. Eat lunch with them.
Priceless.
Yes.
And then now they get accustomed. They're like, okay, now it's not that, okay, in order for me to be successful, or in order for me to make money, I got to leave the house. I mean, you're going to leave the house, don't get me wrong, but you got to have that structured job and, you know, all of that. Now, I'm big on whatever your passions are, and if that's a job in a certain field, go for it, because that has nothing to do with this. You're still going to be doing this, but at least you have those options. You know that there's more than one way to skin this cat.
Yes, and you're not so desperate as people want you to believe that you should be slave to their systems and their foolishness.
That's, when you have options, you have freedom.
Freedom, yes.
You
free to people.
Yeah, so
free to people.
But I'm gonna get ready here, Jason.
Okay, that's good.
Just get my paperwork together for tomorrow because I gotta start early. But as always, it was good. It was certainly my pleasure.
Wait, are you recording or am I recording?
I was recording.
Okay, I'm sorry. Okay, go ahead.
Yeah. So we got all kind of just all over the place on this recording though. So
I was like, did I start that? I'm sorry.
No, I started recording it, but it's not a clean recording because we be talking about all this stuff. But I'm gonna definitely send it to you.
Okay.
Let me actually stop recording now.